And so one of my questions is this, as churches and Christians, many of them unknowingly, as they begin to adopt critical theory, what are some of the things that we can expect to see, or some of the things that maybe you and Tom have already seen in churches that have come about from critical theory that aren't related, something separate from race? So not just critical theory, critical race theory, but as critical theory in general is being adopted by local churches. How have you noticed any the way that they do conflict resolution, or a dynamic of power between pastor and congregant, or what are some other ways that critical theory in general is destructive for churches? And do you have some predictions or even some observations that you've already seen occurring?
Yeah, well, one of my fundamental concerns with critical theory is that you basically set up society and you look at it, and without any divine revelation or without any of God's law, the claim is, well, we can just tell what's wrong with society. We can tell that something is not equal or something is not right, and we want to critique it. We want to critique it, again, without God, without His Word.
Right.
But we know, hey, if women have been held back in the workforce, what we need to do is to put our finger on the scale so that women can be elevated in the workforce, and they'll need to be elevated for about the same amount of time that they were not held to that equal standard, at which point we'll let our finger off of the scale and we'll get this beautiful notion of equality. We'll reach that utopia somewhere out there in the future. So what we need to do is critique it. So, you might even say, somebody would say, well, use reason. Just look at the world, see what's wrong with it, try to critique it, try your best to fix it. That's my, in plain terms, my central concern with critical theory. And the problem is, when you look at the church, you can see all sorts of ways where that kind of mindset has impacted what we're doing. And so, hey, we don't have a lot of youth around here. What do we need? Well, we need a cool youth pastor is what we need. Yeah. If we get that guy, then we're going to do this kind of thing, or music. We need this modern kind of music thing. That's going to be able to bring it in. So we'll do that kind of thing. Or we'll never have any kind of ability to minister to the LGBTQ community until they recognize us as friends. Right. And once they recognize us as friends, well, then we'll be able to engage it. So there could be all sorts of specifics. The central problem is trying to critique and improve, enhance things, whether it be in your church or your community, without God. Yeah. It's basically, it's a paganism in the sense that there's no transcendent God in that world. And so prayer is out the door. We're not worried about prayer, because what we need to do is actually critique something. We need to do something. Well, it is true that there's things for us to do in the Christian faith. We gather and we worship and we preach the gospel, and we do evangelism, we do discipleship, all of that. But we do all of that depending upon the Spirit of God. We do all of that praying and asking God to bless His word and to bless His work and to establish the work of our hands. So as these ideas infiltrate the church, the tendency is to basically go about the work that God has given us to do, but to do it without Him.
Thanks for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, we hope that you'll take a moment and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can watch more content like this. Also, take a moment and give this video a like so that it can reach more people, and take a moment and click on the bell so that you'll be notified whenever we come out with new content. Thanks so much. God bless.